So I ran across a video. Christian Walker, the son of uh, Herschel Walker, making some very controversial comments on Fox News. So he makes the comment that nothing was ever done against gay people in America's history. And he was talking about black people and just minorities in the period. And I know where he was going with it. It was to say that um, there is no racism, there's homophobia, we're all Americans. Like that's the right wing base now. Like that's the baseline for right wingers now. Is to just say that you're an American and you should be thankful to be an American. First of all, he's privileged. Let's start there. It's not the average black man talking. It's important to realize that when you listen to stuff like this. Not to say you can't speak truth and have money, but a person that has not, a person that's not living in the real world can do anything he wants without consequences, especially if you got money. So Christian Walker was talking in essence about how, there's nothing to that, that there's no racism and all that. He says we had slavery, but then we had affirmative action. And he made the statement that nothing been done against gay people. Let's start with gay people. Everybody knows that Matthew Shepard, happened in the 90s where these guys in Wyoming hung him. There's been other cases of just horrible homophobic stuff. People hunting folks down on gay apps and killing them. I mean, the one reason, was it Lawrence Taylor case, Supreme Court case, was because in Texas, they were still busting in guys' houses and arresting them in the 90s for having gay sex. When people say, keep your homosexuality to yourself, how do you think people got to the point where you could do that? If you're busting in folks' houses and you're arresting them in their own property for maybe having sex, that's not keeping it to yourself. What conservatives mean when they talk like that, they say that the left is this. It's because we've gotten a little bit of power through the culture, not bills and laws, through the culture, to where the culture says, yeah, we don't want to have different things. We're watching a push right now with the abortion stuff in many states. There was a guy joking about going back on interracial marriage. They're saying these are not rights that the Supreme Court shouldn't have ruled on, that they're not rights they should have gotten involved with. I think it's too far for that. But then they can roll back the gay marriage stuff in a heartbeat. See, it's not about the Supreme Court or people at the federal level. It's about the states. There's a lot of states in this country that would willingly do that. So, what Christian said, it's like I spoke about Tucker Carlson, talking about the supermarket murder and a massacre in Buffalo. It's shocking how uninformed these people really are. Black people didn't just go through slavery. We went through the black codes. We went through Jim and Jay Crow. We went through redlining. We went through the urban renewal where they destroyed a lot of black communities to make way for malls and bypass highways. This is what they did. And this was not, I don't even like to even go into slavery because people always just say, oh, that's so far in the past. Okay, let's talk about the last 50 years. Black folks couldn't even own homes to the 70s. Look it up. America's out here telling folks about morality and the benefits of living freely. You can't even let black folks own houses. They had housing covenants. Look it up. If you bought a house as a white man, the part of the contract was you could never sell the house to a black person. And in fact, when the Supreme Court ruled on it, several Supreme Court justices had to recuse themselves because they were in on it. And this man saying that America never did anything bad to us, to minorities. He's talking about minorities specifically. I know where he was going with it. You've got laws. I think in North Carolina, where I'm from, you got a law, the gay panic and trans panic now, where if you're out somewhere with a gay man and you feel threatened, you can kill him. You can murder him in cold blood and say you panicked because you were in fear he was coming on to you. And it's a defense, it's a minimize so it won't be murder. But you're going to tell me there was never anything done to gay people? I was talking to a friend of mine about this earlier. Look at the response to the HIV crisis with Reagan. You had press secretaries joking about HIV. Look it up. Well, none of this conspiracy theory. This is facts. But you're going to tell me nothing was done to these groups. That's sad. And I've worried for a while that as society becomes freer, in that, we're not victimizing groups anymore, those groups will go conservative. Because the only reason why they were conservative was because they had no choice. Once they get a choice, they'll go along with the right wing grift. That's what this is. When I watched the video, he had two white women with him, and both of them flinched when he said, "America never did anything to gay people." One of them was like, I mean, it's good that Fox News gets people who are so obviously detached from reality and the reality of the average minority, because that's a bold-faced lie. That's not a little. That's a bold-faced lie. I mean, there's places in this country today where you hear about hate crimes being done. The case in 2001. You had the black man in Texas dragged behind a pickup truck by two white men. There's all kind of cases you don't hear about on a regular basis. You're gonna tell me that that's sad to me. Someone didn't raise him right, and someone didn't explain to him who you are, where you stand, your opportunities, as well as the risks and your dangers living in this society. I thought about another guy, Michael Brooks, used to jump on a lot. And the guy was, his whole stick was the same thing, being gay, but he's, no big deal. And a Kasparian made the point, here he is living in Los Angeles with his boyfriend, with a bunch of people who don't care about him being gay, and he's making money making fun of those people. Take his, she said, take your shows to Alabama. Take your shows down there. Take that right-wing stuff down there and see how it works out. They don't like you. And what Christians are going to learn, those people don't like you, period. Doesn't matter if you wear a Trump hat or if you are uneducated and you're willing to push known lies about what white folks have done in this country. It doesn't matter. They don't like you. And that won't change. And the people, I don't know, man. It's just tragic to me to see someone so clearly disconnected from reality and of the reality that he faces in his world. Thanks for listening.